Hi, my name is Allison Chambers. I'm a teacher at Dumas High School in Dumas, Arkansas. That is also where I graduated high school. We'll get more about that in a minute. Sorry, I'm kind of a mess. It's the weekend. So I moved to Dumas from Warren, Arkansas when I was 14 years old. In Dumas, I went to Dumas High School. I met my boyfriend, the father of my children, at Dumas High School. We've been together for 14 years and have a very happy relationship. I assume that at some point we'll get married, but it's just not something that we've been super worried about. My family, my dad's a doctor here in Dumas. My mom is a nurse, but she works at home taking care of my dad's finances and all of his assets. So I graduated from Dumas High School in 2011. From there, I went to Arkansas Tech University, where I got my prerequisites for chiropractic school. In 2014, I went to chiropractic school at Parker University in Dallas, Texas, and I was there for about a year. And at that point, I did some reflection, got to looking inside myself, and I decided that I didn't really want to be a chiropractor. I just didn't think that that was the right path for me. So I moved home and I applied to UAM, got enrolled at UAM, and my major was nursing. I was working on a few more prerequisites I needed for the nursing program that I didn't previously get. And I had to be enrolled at UAM for a year before I could apply to their nursing program. So I did that. I got in their nursing program. I was enrolled in their nursing program for a year, at which point life caught up for me. And in 2017, I failed out of UAM's nursing program. That was rough. It was a really, really hard time for me. I felt like I was disappointing my parents, felt like I was disappointing my family, just not living up to what I knew that I could be. So I took a year off from school. I got a couple of really crappy jobs. I worked at Fred's Pharmacy for a little bit as a pharmacy tech. Didn't enjoy that. I worked as just a clerk in the Fred's store for a while. I'm sorry about the noise in the background. My baby's crying. My mom's taking care of him. So in January of 2018, I had decided I was going to hop back on the horse. I had to do something better with my life. I needed a career because I needed to eventually be able to get married and support a family. So in 2018, January of 2018, I got accepted and enrolled in Jefferson Regional Medical Center's nursing program. And this nursing program, it went really well. I didn't struggle nearly as much in it as I did at UAM's. I was happier, and I did well in that program. And I graduated in August of 2019. I graduated with my in June 2019, I graduated with my associate's degree in nursing. And by August of 2019, I was working as a labor and delivery and medical surgical nurse at Delta Memorial Hospital in Dumas. I worked here until I had my first kid. So right after I started working at Delta Memorial, I found out that I was pregnant with my first baby, Elliot Drew. I had him the week after COVID shut everything down. So I think COVID shut everything down like the week of March 15th, 2020. I had Elliot March 20th, 2020. It was a very unsure time. It was hard going through postpartum without being able to be around anybody. You know, my dad was a doctor. I couldn't necessarily go to his house because he was getting exposed every day to the virus, and we didn't know what was happening with it. So I got to just sit at home, me and my newborn baby, and we made it. We struggled, but we made it. So after I had Elliot, I worked at Delta Memorial for a little bit longer, and then the hours weren't working for me because it's 12-hour shifts, and it's just a weird schedule. So I went to work at Cardiovascular Center of Arkansas. That was a clinic in Pine Bluff, and I thought, well, it'll be a clinic, it'll be Monday through Friday, the hours will be set, it'll be great. I ended up just being really unhappy. It was at that clinic, though, that I found out I was pregnant with my second child, Whit. So, February 11th, 2022, I gave birth to my second baby, Whit Franklin. And after I had him, I said, I can't go back to nursing. I can't go back to the crazy hours. I can't go back to just being unhappy. I need to be able to be happy, and I need to be able to be me. No, like, I need to be happy and be bubbly like I normally am for my kids. They need to see that side of me, not the grumpy, working all the time side of me. So I said, I didn't go into teaching before because I was all about the money. I was worried about the money. The money is still awful. I still don't make nearly enough, but we're making it work. I said, well, who cares about the money? Let me just jump into it. So I decided to completely switch gears. I applied to the MAT program, got accepted into that, and I applied for a job at Dumas High School. When I applied for an English position. They looked at my application, they looked at my resume, and they said, well, we really need a science teacher, and with your background in science and you being a nurse, we think that you would be a much better fit as our chemistry and environmental science teacher. And I kind of laughed in their face. I went, okay, I will teach whatever y'all want me to teach, but I'm just telling you, I'm going to be learning this material at the same time as my students because I don't have a good base knowledge of that stuff. So that's what we're doing. I got hired. I started teaching chemistry and environmental science in August of this year. August 15th was my first day. And so far, I have loved it. I really am. I'm having to learn it with my students as we go through each chapter. But I look at the standards. I look at what needs to be taught. I try and pick and choose what the most important subjects are for me to teach, and I'm trying to build my curriculum off of that. I lucked out, and I have a really good mentor science teacher at the high school. But I'm so much happier. I love teaching. So Dumas is about 75%, has a 75% Black population. The rest of that, there's, I don't know, probably 10% white, 5% Mexican, something like that, or Hispanic. But we have a really good time. We love it. We have fun. I have been described by my students as having a bubbly personality, but also that I know when to have fun and when not to have fun, and that I'm a good balance between the two. One of my students told me that I have a lot of policies and procedures, but she understands why I do, and she thinks that they are the right policies and procedures for my classroom. My family describes me as funny sometimes, dry sometimes. I go through different moods just like everybody. But they describe me as smart and motivated. I want to do well for my family, and they can see that. And I want to raise my boys to be the best people they can be. And so that is my ultimate goal is, they don't need to see color they need to, people are people. It doesn't matter if they're black, white, brown, purple. People are people. And that's one thing that I want to instill in them is no matter what color you are or where you're from or what your culture is, that you are to be kind and nice to people and just be good people. And I want to instill that in my children. And I think that I'm a good person. I try my best to be a good person. I'm a Christian. I don't go to church, but that's just a choice that I made. I just don't go. And overall, I think that's about it. Thank you.